Hello everyone, my name is Marissa and I'm going to do a tutorial today for the Potomac Bead Company. I'm going to show you how to make my totally tubular bracelet. A full list of the materials are in the show more area underneath this video. And if you're needing any of the products, you can go to PotomacBeads.com or PotomacBeads.eu. And I hope you will join me in making my totally tubular bracelet. Okay, so for our first step, we're going to be using our Tubelet beads and our 11-Os. And this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a bunch of boxes. So how you do that, go ahead and put a tubelet, pick up on one of your needles a tubelet, and then on each needle, pick up an 11-O. On each needle goes a tubelet, then an 11-O, letting them drop. And then you're going to pick up a tubelet on one needle and cross through that one. So we're just making a bunch of boxes. And for the bracelet I'm going to make right now with you, I'm going to be doing 14. I did 15 on this one. It fits me a little bit big than I would like it to. So I'm going to do 14 on this one. So again, pick up on one needle a tubelet bead, then on both needles an 11-O, on both needles a tubelet, on both needles an 11-O, on one needle a tubelet, and cross through it. So I'm going to do that one more time with you. After you've picked up a tubelet, pick up an 11-O on each needle, a tubelet on each needle, followed by an 11-O on each needle, letting them drop, pick up your tubelet, and cross. And this is what we have. So your bracelet will not shrink on you. Go ahead and do as many boxes as you think you're going to need for your bracelet, for your size. Just take into account the kind of clasp you're going to use. And start with a comfortable amount of thread, because you will be needing to add thread as we move along our project. So once I get my boxes all done, I will be back and show you what to do next. Okay, I got all my boxes done. Now I'm going to put my clasp. And I'm coming out, you should be coming out of a tubelet like this. And I have 14 of my boxes. These boxes are very easy to do. And you can try to do it with one needle, but I don't have the patience to go into each little bead one at a time. I tend to just want to do it really quickly. And sometimes when you do that, you'll ruin the shape of your bracelet. So that's why I'm using 2 needles. Okay, so coming out of a tubelet, I have 4 11-Os. Then I'm going to go through my clasp. And then of course, if you're putting on another type of clasp, you can do so now. Now I'm going to go through one of my 11-Os. And then I'm going to pick up 3 more 11-Os. And I'm going to go back and through this tubelet. And if you have wire guards, you can use wire guards also. Now with this needle, I'm going to go through everything that I just put. These 3, that 11-O, go through my clasp, go back through the 11-O underneath, go down these 3 over here, and then into my tubelet bead. And I will reinforce that again next time I come around to my clasp. Okay, so now we're coming out of our tubelet. Now we are going to put on our little RounTrio here that goes in the middle of our piece. So we're going to be using, we can move our 11-Os. We're going to be using our little spacer beads or Demi rounds, whichever you have. 15-0 beads, and we won't need very many of the 15-0 beads. And of course, our round trios. And for this, we're only going to be using the end holes of our round trios. Our round trios have 3 holes in them. We're going to be ignoring that middle hole. So, coming out of our tubelets, on each needle goes a $15.0, a spacer bead or a demi round, whatever you're using, a round trio like this. We're not crossing through it, we're just going through it straight up like that, letting that drop, and then another spacer bead, a 15.0, and then into our tubelet. Do not go into the 11-0s that are right there on the side of your tubelet bead. So we want to put our round trio in place like that. One more time, coming out of a tubelet, on goes a spacer 15-0, a spacer bead, a round trio, in through our end holes, push that down, next we're going to do that again, mirroring what we just did with the beads on the other side of our round trio. So we get a spacer bead, 15-0 on each needle, letting them drop, then crossing in through this tubelet bead right here. So we're just going to be going through, once we get our beads on our needles, we are going to be on this step ignoring the tubelets here. They're on the side of our little units, and we're just going to be going through these here. Think of it like a ladder. It looks like a ladder. We're just going to be going through our steps. So go ahead and do that until you have finished, and then once you come out of your tubelet bead here, you can put on the second part of your clasp, and I will meet you back right after. I've already added the second part of my clasp, and of course I finished adding my round trios on the top. And once you add the second part of your clasp and you go through it with both needles, you should be exiting a tubelet bead like this. Okay, so now we're going to do the fun part. We are going to work with our 11-0s and our crystals. So drop a few on your beading area. Coming out of my tubelet, on each needle, I'm going to go through this 11-0 and through the tubelet here. I'm going to do that on this side as well. So now we're going to be working with our tubelets on the sides. We're still going to cross through the tubelets here in the middle, which would be our ladder steps. They just the whole thing, these boxes remind me of a ladder, so, and these middle ones remind me of the steps on a ladder. So anyway, coming out of the tubelets like this, go 11-0, crystal, 11-0, coming out of my tubelet on the side, and I'm going to go through it in the opposite direction. If you catch the 11-0 after that, that's fine, because we need to go through it. We need to go through it here to go through this tubelet in the middle. And then go through that 11-0 after it and go through the tubelet here. So we're going to be crossing again. Now on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do 11-0, crystal, 11-0, circle around, go through the same tubelet, go through your 11-0 after it, and through your tubelet here after that, and there you have it. Then we're going to go through the 11-0 here, coming out of the tubelet, and up this tubelet here. So we're coming out of our next tubelets and we're ready to do the same thing. So it's 11-0, crystal, 11-0, circle around. You catch the 11-0 after the tubelet once you've circled around. That's fine. Then go in through the tubelet here. Pull. Now do the same thing on the side. Coming out of my tubelet, go 11-0, crystal, 11-0, circle around, go through the same tubelet, and I caught my 11-0, and then now I'm going to go through this tubelet here, pulling tight. So this is our third step, another very, very easy step. Don't get too ahead on one side, that way you don't ruin the shape of your bracelet. I'm not really sure if it'll curve if you do that, but it might, so just don't do that. Just do a couple, then catch up. You can probably even do 3. Then catch up with your other needle and, until you finish. So go ahead and do that. Keep adding your crystals, and I will be back. Okay, so let's finish this up. All right, I've already added all of my crystals, and I did reinforce this part of my clasp, and I hope you did the same. Once you did that, once again, you should be exiting your tubelet bead like this. Now from here, and again, you're going to do this on both sides. Go through the 11-0, that's right, after that tubelet bead. And I'm going to do that on both sides right now. That way I'm in position on both sides to do my last step. From here, pick up 3 15-0s. Then you're going to go to the 11-0 up here that's with your crystals, and go through that little grouping. On the same side, on this side, same thing. 3 on go, 3 15-0s. Go through this grouping that you just added from your previous step. So now that we're there, go ahead and pick up 3 15-0s. Go through these middle 2 11-0s, but watch how I'm going in through them, like this. Just like that, so you kind of circled around. From those 3 15-0s that you added, go into numbers 2 and 3. Pull. Then you're going to add 1 more 15-0 and go through your next grouping on your next unit. And that will put your little beads in place. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more time. Coming out of this 11-0, right here from this grouping, I'm going to pick up 3 15-ohs. Then I'm going to go through these 11-ohs here that are inside here. Well, I could only catch the one there. I'm going to grab my other one here. Then I'm going to go in through 15-ohs 2 and 3 here, pull, and then I'm going to pick up one more 15-oh and go through my grouping here. Just like that. And we're going to do this all the way down our piece. One more time. Coming out of this grouping, go 3 15-ohs. And the 11-ohs I'm talking about are the ones that are right here. See these right here? So I have 3 15-ohs. Going through the one here, because we're circling. Then going through the one here closest to you. Then go through 15-ohs that you just added, 2 and 3. And then pick up a 15-oh and go through the grouping here. Now, what you will end up doing is going through from the 4 15-ohs that you're going to end up with here on your side, you will end up going through the 2 middle ones. So when I say 2 and 3, it's going to end up being the 2 middle ones. So go ahead and add your 15-ohs all the way down your piece the way I showed you. Okay, so this is the end of our project, and this is what we have. This is the one that I just made with you on this tutorial, and this is the one that I had, this was my practice one. So this is how it looks. So just as I said, four very easy steps, and they don't take long. Once you get going, you know, you'll be finished in no time. So this is what we have, and I hope you enjoyed making this. So thank you very much for watching my totally tubular bracelet tutorial.